All right, it's time to create your life vision map. Okay. We talked a little bit about this, and hopefully, you had your one page miracle out as we were talking through it in the last lesson. But really, it's time to dig in, right? And so, hopefully, you had a chance to write those bullets out. But if you haven't, please take the time to do that now, because the next steps we're going to talk through is how do you actually turn that into an actionable plan that you can execute on? Because one thing to build a one page miracle map and a vision board, but it's another thing to build in a habit plan that you can actually execute on on a daily basis. And so, one thing that we put into this lesson is a short introduction around habits. And so, again, we've created a course called Fork in the Road where it really digs into habits, the 7 behavioral steps, behavioral model steps that was created by BJ Fogg, and then the behavioral maps and the prompts and the triggers and everything that you need. But I'm just going to talk about it at a basic level here, which is let's take the one bullet or a handful of bullets in your one page miracle and let's outline a behavioral map and take that to a small, tiny habit actual step, right? And so, for example, if meditation is something that came up as a spiritual way for you to take action to really build up your spirituality in the 4 circles of brain health for your life, what you're going to do, you're going to put that meditation into a bubble on a behavior map. And again, there's resources here to show you as an image and graphic. There's examples and a template. Put that in there and then write all the different behaviors related to meditation that would help you understand how you could start doing that. In other words, if you're not meditating today, what does it look like to actually create the behaviors necessary to meditate? Meaning, you have a place, a dark place, non-distracted place, an app maybe like Headspace, Calm. There's a few other good ones out there. But maybe to start a guided meditation would be helpful, right? Versus just, well, I guess I'm going to sit in a dark room and close my eyes. Maybe that is step one, right? Because we're going to talk about tiny habits too, which is like, if you're not meditating today, don't just go out there and say, well, I'm going to start meditating 20 minutes a day. Like, the best course of action really would be, I'm going to start meditating for 3 minutes a day. And maybe my first day I'll meditate for 1 minute. That's really how tiny habits start. And then that's how you build on them by continuing to grow it, right? Because you can celebrate that 1 minute, that 3 minute, then the 5 minute, then the 10 minute. And before you know it, like, you've built this into your routine. And then it's really just about the time that it takes. And if you're like me, when I picked up a habit of meditation, I started very small, and I used the Headspace app, but I started very small at like 5 minutes. And I found myself, like, after the guided meditation ended, I found myself just still doing it for another 10 minutes, right? Because I felt so great in that space with my eyes closed, focusing on my breath, letting the whole world of distraction just disappear and just letting my mind kind of reset. And so you'll find that too, like any habit, you'll find that it'll start to grow on you. But put it in the bubble, put the behaviors around there that match it. Then what we're going to do is create the tiny behavior map prompt to get you towards making that small decision, which is, when I go to meditate, I will sit in a dark room with no distractions, right? And so what you're doing is you're setting up your mind and your practice to be able to get that done. And so that's a small thing. Let's go through one more example. So let's say you don't drink enough water today, because hydration is a huge, huge thing for your brain health. And you're going to learn this. I would encourage you to go and visit our blog. We blog daily around these type of things. But your brain requires so much water and oxygen. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it takes 20% of the total oxygen in your body to process efficiently for your brain, right? That's how critical it is. And then staying hydrated too. Like, your brain needs that. Your brain is primarily consisting of fat, and that fat needs water, needs hydration. And so when you're dehydrated, so is your brain, and you can't think properly. And maybe you felt that, like, if you've had any ounce of dehydration or anything, you probably feel brain fog, right? Because you can't get your brain to work properly. And so if you are somebody that drink more water, it could easily be just put hydration as a bubble in there. And then around that and the behaviors, you can put wake up in the morning, pour a glass of water. Pour a glass of water when I pour a cup of coffee. If you're a tea drinker, when I pour tea, I'm going to pour a glass of water. Anytime that I sit down at my desk to work, I'm going to make sure that I have a glass of water right next to me so that it's visually like I can't miss it. Right? I'm going to grab for it because I can see it on a constant basis. Right? Set a reminder. I'm going to set a reminder on my phone, or if you have an Apple Watch or a Fitbit that has a pulse, reminder check-in, I'm going to set that for every 15 minutes to drink of water. What does that look like? So write out some behaviors that'll actually help you do that. Then grab those behaviors and then let's create some prompts, right? So when I grab a cup of coffee, I will fill a 8-ounce glass of water. Before I finish my coffee, I must finish that glass of water. Or when I fill up my next cup, if you love coffee, I'm going to fill up another glass of water, right? So it's those type of things. And then also like tracking it. At the end of the day, I will track how much water I drank. That's a great accountability practice, and I would encourage you to do that. Right in your one-page miracle, maybe that should be part of everything that you do, which is accountability and tracking. But those are some simple examples, right, to get you going. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, I love talking about the one-page miracle because a lot of times when we talk about goal building, development, and all that, it gets a little bit overwhelming. It just does, right? For many people, even if you set like a monthly goal, a weekly goal, 6-month, annual, 5-year goal, like great. But a lot of times it feels a little bit overwhelming. And then sometimes when you miss the target, you get a little bit disappointed, maybe frustrated in yourself. This is such an easier approach, right? A one-page miracle around certain areas of your health that you can start doing micro habits for change and then growing on those and building, and then adapt your one-page miracle as you go. And so it's really a foundational level just to get you going, and it can be super powerful. So I hope you enjoyed this course. Again, visit all the resources in this course to help you throughout these. And then if you are looking for a coach to help you with this, we have a ton of licensed coaches through Amen Clinic, so licensed brain health coaches to help you along your journey with One Page Miracle and other things to get you set up for success around your brain health. And we can't wait to serve you. And so if you're curious about that, please visit the coaching resources on the site, or I will link it up here on this course as well. So thank you for joining me on the One Page Miracle, and I can't wait to see you execute on it and change your life.